welcome to another edition of Eric's Product Reviews. I am Eric, and today I'm excited to talk to you about the Sony ZV-1 camera vlogger's kit that comes with a grip and a SD card for your memory. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about both. This is sort of a first impression review. I've been using both of these for a few weeks now, and it's going to take me probably a couple of months to figure it all out, to learn how to do everything, and I'm going to do other reviews in the future as I learn more detailed reviews. So this is sort of my first impression. Now let's talk about the camera first, because this is obviously the bulk of why you would buy this is for the camera. The reason I am holding this box and not the camera myself is I am recording this using the camera. I am using the built-in mics on the camera, no special lenses or anything, and I'm using intelligent mode, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. But this is an awesome camera. This is a digital camera meant both for recording videos, as I'm doing now, as well as also you can use it just as a digital camera to take pictures. But this camera is really, I would say, a prosumer level, meaning a professional filmmaker, cinematographer is probably going to invest in something more expensive and also with all kinds of additional capabilities. But at the same time, this isn't really a camera for just your casual person who takes a video every now and again, which you could probably do on your phone. This is a prosumer camera, meaning it has a lot of the features and capabilities that a professional would use. You could use this camera to do professional cinematography. But it's also geared towards that prosumer, in other words, your average consumer who may not have all the skills to know how to do all the settings that a professional would. A professional has the ability to do that. If you're not a professional, you can use some of the built-in stuff to get those same effects and have what you need without necessarily having the full knowledge of someone who's been to film school, for example. And that's why I love this camera. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the camera specifics in a minute, but the vlogger's kit. The vlogger kit comes with the camera, but it also comes with this cool handy grip, which can be used to do selfie videos. As you can see, it bends, and this head pivots really easy. It turns really easy, so you can turn the camera around, get it the way you want it, and you can hold it out. Also has remote control buttons on there, so you can use this as remote control for starting recording or not. You can control the zoom. You can also have the special button that will control whatever you set it up to control. And it's also a little tripod, so it splits up and becomes a little tripod, and the camera screws onto there really easy. So that's kind of a cool, handy thing. And then the vlogger's kit also comes with an SD card, a 64 gigabyte high-speed SD card, which you need in order to take full advantage of the camera. So the kit's really cool, and I would say the kit is worth it. You save a little bit of money by buying the camera and the vlogger's kit together versus buying them separately, and it's a good buy. It's something that if you're investing in it anyway, it's good to have something like this. It's good to have a remote control, to be able to remote control your camera to start recording and stuff, and then B, something that also works as a nice grip for when you're doing vlogging and you're videoing yourself. Works great for that. So that's the vlogger's kit. So let's talk more about the camera, and again, I'm not going to go over all the details, every little setting in this camera, because there's thousands of them. I'm just going to go over the overall big picture stuff and why I think this camera is awesome. And I'll also point out a few things that maybe it's lacking in. So one thing that's cool is this camera, you see that little windscreen up there? This camera does come with that, and that's because right on top of the camera are 3 built-in microphones, and they are directional microphones meant to record in front of the camera. That's what's recording my voice right now. I'm not using any special mics for this. I'm using the mics that are built into the camera. That's kind of a cool feature, but it does also have an auxiliary mic input, so you can use whatever other professional lavalier or mic you want to use. You can plug into this and use that as well. It does have a shoe mount on top to be able to mount stuff on top of the camera, which is great. It has that flip around viewfinder, so when I'm talking to you, I've got it flipped around and I can see myself, which is awesome. It folds back so that if you're behind the camera, you've got the screen behind the camera. The screen is not touch screen, so you control everything through the menu buttons on the side. It would be kind of cool if the screen was touchscreen and you could control stuff that way. Unfortunately, you cannot, except for focus. You can tap the screen for focus, but for controls, you're using the menu buttons that are on the side. It has a nice grip, so it's easy to hold this in your hand. Of course, if you get the vlogger's grip, you can use that as well. This is very wide angle. Now, some people have said that you might want even more wide angle if you're doing selfie video, and maybe you do, but in and of itself, it is wide angle. There's a plus and a minus to that, because it has a certain amount of optical zoom. My old 10-year-old camcorder has slightly better optical zoom. That's one thing I would say is one little bit of a negative of this is the optical zoom and the optical stabilization. My old camcorder can zoom in way further because this starts at such a wide angle. Even at the maximum optical zoom, it's not getting super close up. Whereas my old camcorder, I can start way back, and it had, I think it had 30 times optical zoom. So I can zoom way in. And the other thing that I wish they had, the zoom on this is a little button in the front, and it's easy to just zoom in. But it's not really meant for zooming while filming, I don't feel. Because when you zoom in or out, it's just one speed. In the settings, you can change it between faster or slower, but it's even at its slowest, it's just zooming in. At fast, it tries to zoom in really fast. At normal, it's just speed. Whereas with my camcorder, from the button itself, I could control the speed of the zoom by putting less pressure or more pressure. The more pressure I put on it, the faster it zoom, the less. And it was a very smooth zoom. I find that this is not an extremely smooth zoom, so it's meant to zoom, then record. Not so much for zooming while you record. But it does have an optical zoom, and it does have a very intelligent digital zoom. Unfortunately, again, it's not really meant for zooming while filming. It's meant for zooming in to where you want to be and then filming, more or less. Another thing that a couple of features this has that makes it especially good for vloggers that I think is awesome. It has a feature so that, it's called a product showcase. So that if you hold something up to the camera, like I'm talking to you and I hold it up to the camera, it immediately refocuses on what's closer to the camera, which is awesome. It works great. And I'll demo that so you can see how that works. It's perfect. It just immediately refocuses, and that was a problem I always had with my old camera. It didn't do that, so I couldn't hold things up with the camera because it kept trying to. It would focus on my face still. With this camera, when you put it in a product showcase mode, it does it automatically. The other thing it has that's really cool is a automatic background focus or defocus. So if you're vlogging, you're holding it out and stuff is behind you, you can press with one button, you can have it switch so that the background is perfectly clear so it sees you and the background, or hit that other button and boom, it focuses on you, and it has a narrower frame of focus so that you're in focus, but the stuff behind you, it has the bokeh look, is slightly blurred. And one button, it does that automatically. That's really cool. This camera also does have an ND filter. Now, I didn't know what that was before I got this camera. I had to look it up. But it's very useful when you're filming outside in bright situations to help get good colors, so everything doesn't get washed out by bright sunlight. And apparently that you can buy a filter for a lot of cameras that goes screws onto the lens, but this camera has a built-in ND filter in it, which is really super cool. And that's kind of the thing that I love about this camera. I'm filming this right now in intelligent mode. Now those features I talked about, the product showcase and the background blur or not, you can use that with intelligent mode. Those are just separate little features. But intelligent mode means the camera's deciding everything for me. It's deciding what's focused, it's deciding all the different settings. I mean, there are settings you can tweak inside of the settings even for that, but overall it's making the decisions. But you can also switch over to manual, and you can fully manually control everything about this camera. It has, like I said, pretty much almost anything that you would expect in a professional camera. It's in here and it's controllable. So if you're someone like me, I don't have necessarily all the cinematography skills and background and knowledge of someone who's been to film school or studied photography. So there's some things that I'm still learning and I don't know about and I don't know how to control. But I can use intelligent mode to help me out or to control those things. But as I learn and I want to adjust, or I want to move up, or I want to take more control, you can. You can fully control this camera the same way you can any film camera. So you can get professional looking, really amazing videos with this camera in daylight, at nighttime, by controlling all those settings. And this camera films in 4K. If you wanted to. It has HDR. You can use different HDR color profiles with it. It has different filming speeds, different frame rates, so you can do slow motion and even super slow motion. Just a fully capable camera. Very, like I said, prosumer camera. Great for anybody. Can just pick up this camera, put it in intelligent mode, and just use it without knowing a lot of anything. And then as you learn or get better, you can take full control and control everything just like a cinematographer would. And that's what's really, really cool about this camera. Just a couple of other things real quick. It does take a battery. It's a small battery because it's a small compact camera. So it doesn't last a long time. But you can get additional batteries pretty cheap, and you can charge the battery when it's plugged in here through a USB micro USB cord, or you can also buy a portable charger that you can just throw the battery into, or throw extra batteries into, which is cool. And another thing I really love about this camera is how small it is. It is a handheld small camera. Now my old camcorder that I talk about, that I'd been using for years for filming these type of reviews, it was a big bulky camera. I only used it basically when filming reviews with it on a tripod. I didn't take it with me when I went on trips or anything because it's too big and bulky, you can't. This camera, the awesome thing about it is it's so small, it fits in the palm of your hand and it fits in your pocket or in a small bag. So now when I travel, I can take this camera, this professional quality filming camera with me, and I can also use it to take professional photographs because it's also just a one-shot camera. But I'm more into filming than I am into photographs, and I can take it with me and I can have high quality video when I'm traveling or when I'm going anywhere because it fits in your pocket. It's basically like having in a way, a cinematography grade camera that fits in your pocket. Now again, if you were a professional cinematographer and you're working on a multi-million-dollar film, obviously you're not going to use this pocket camera, but I think what you hopefully you get what I'm saying is that this has the capabilities. You know, this has, the way I was thinking about it is back when digital filming first became a thing, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, I think it was, is when that was kind of happening. The cameras they were using at the time, the digital cameras they were using at the time, were probably like half as capable as this camera. And they were using them to make movies. So you can film movies with this. You can film professional cinematography with this. There's a lot you can do with this camera. You know, when it comes to filming, a lot of times it's about being creative with what you got. And with a camera that is this feature rich and has all those features, you can do that. But this camera, again, it was specialized for vloggers and for vlogging and that type of thing, and that's why it has those really easy to use intelligence features, the product showcase feature, the automatic background blur or clear feature, and then having, if you get the vlogger's kit, you have your little selfie grip here, as well as your remote controls. Just really awesome product. Sony did a great job with this. I'm very happy and with my investment in this merchandise. It's gonna definitely serve me great for many years, both for vlogging and then, you know, maybe in the not so distant future, maybe getting into a little bit of filmmaking, which I would love to do using this camera. I definitely am gonna, you know, start learning more about the professional aspects of this camera so that I can take more control, and this is definitely a great camera to grow with, I would say. But anyway, that's the Sony ZV-1 camera vloggers kit, which comes with the camera as well as the grip and the SD card, and really awesome product by Sony. Now I will do more reviews in the future with more details about the camera, maybe more settings, go into more stuff, but that's my initial review right now, and I, as you can tell, am very happy with it. I'm going to have a link in the description below you can click that link. It'll be to the product on Amazon. You can jump over to Amazon, and I'll have a link to the full-on vloggers kit, as well as just the camera or just the grip, in case you want to check them out separately. You can click that link, jump over there, you can read what other people have said about it. It's a highly reviewed camera, and if you are in the market for something like this, you can pick one up for yourself. Anyway, that's going to be it for this review. If you like this review, please click that like button. If you know anyone who might be interested in this product, please share the video with them. All those ways are down there. Don't forget to favorite this playlist to keep up with future product reviews, or go ahead and subscribe to my channel and keep up with all my videos. Anyway, that is going to be it until next time, so have a great day.